Welcome back. This is the fourth webcast in the Business Continuity and Disaster Recovery series. In this, I will explain what is business impact analysis and what is its correlation with process dependency mapping and resource dependency mapping. An organization conducts a business impact analysis to identify the critical business processes that it would need in case of a disaster to be operational. An organization has lots of business processes, but not all of them are critical. For example, consider an IT function in which new application development can be paused in case of disaster. For an HR department, if it is the appraisal season, the appraisals could be stopped. For a marketing function, the launch of a new product could be halted. The reason is because in case of a disaster, the organization is running in a critical mode and it has limited resources. So it is important that only those critical business processes be restored and made operational that will help the organization through the disaster. The rest of the process could be recovered subsequently once the organization has recovered the critical business processes. So what a business impact analysis does is it identifies and prioritizes the business processes in terms of their criticality. When I say criticality, it could be the financial impact of a business process in case it is not available. So that is a tangible aspect. It will also be an intangible aspect, maybe the brand value, or maybe the customer satisfaction, which is not related with the financial aspect. Or it could be a regulatory or a legislative requirement that the business needs to report, and in case the organization is not able to, fines, penalties would be imposed on the business. So business impact analysis will help us to identify those critical business processes that are vital for the survival of the organization during a disaster. In an ideal world, the organization would have a service catalog of all business processes, and it will be easy to walk up to the business process owner and guide the business process owner in stating as to what would be the impact in case the business process is not available. But in real world, that not be the case. What we need to do is we need to identify as to which are all the business processes in an organization. And this is where business process mapping comes in place. The first step in business process mapping is to identify the organization and the organizational structure. We have the organization and the organizational structure, and this may be made up of business units and departments. Business units would be the customer facing and departments would be the support functions, and there would be heads that would be running the business units and departments. Having identified the business units and the support functions, we approach the heads and ask the heads as to which are the business processes that they are responsible for. So let us approach the business unit head, his name is A, and ask him as to how many processes he's responsible for, and he says it's 6. Then we ask him as to who are his direct reports. So we have B, C, and D, and what he feels are the business processes that they are responsible for. So let's take some values. We go down to B, C, and D and validate whether they are responsible for these processes, and are there any additional processes that they are responsible for. And now experience whatever is the number, it would be an easy estimate to just double it, and this would be the minimum business processes that they would be responsible for. We drill down. So B has E, F, and G as his direct reports, and he feels that they are responsible for following business processes. We approach E, F, G, validate, and add the additional business processes that they are responsible for. We drill down to a level wherein every individual in the organization who handles a business process is documented. H reports to G, and H is only a receptionist. She doesn't have any direct reports. But it's possible that H also has a business process. For example, she may be the person ordering the office stationery. She has the passwords to go online to order stationery. She also is responsible for a business process. So we start from the top and we move down and identify all the business processes in the organization. And having gone to the lowest level, we roll up all the business processes. And what we get once we reach the top is a complete business process mapping for the organization. Business process mapping is a prerequisite for a business impact analysis. Having a business process mapping completed, the next step is to approach each of the business process owners and ask them to justify the impact that the organization would suffer in case that business process were not available to the organization. This ends my webcast on business impact analysis and business process mapping. The next webcast is on business impact analysis and resource dependency mapping. Thank you, and I welcome your doubts.